Theatrhythm. It's a Final Fantasy music game. It could be terrible. It really could. It could be absolutely awful, but it has like 300 Final Fantasy songs in it, and it would just tickle the part of my brain that loves the 300 Final Fantasy songs as I push a bunch of buttons in rhythm with it. And I don't think I'm like a whale for many games. A whale, if people don't know, is Brendan Fraser in a movie, but also is a person who is willing to give a great deal of money to some kind of live service game. There's not very many games I'm like a true whale for. This has been one of them, because they've made 3 of these, 2 on 3DS, and now this is the 3rd. They've also made one for Kingdom Hearts as well, a very similar style game that I also bought. I bought all those games. I do not want to think about the amount of money I've spent on the DLC in these games, because at least this one has a season pass, which there's 2 versions of it. There's 2 higher tiers of this game. I bought the most expensive one. It's like $110. Don't judge me. But the 3DS version, you had to buy the songs individually, and I probably spent $100 on those songs. So this is like the series I have given the most money in, like the percentage of top spenders on series of video games. I'm probably in like the top 5% in the Theatrhythm series. It is a series that can just leech money out of me, because it's like, look at the Final Fantasy music, and I can hit some buttons, and they run along a field that has some like the visual throwbacks to the games, and that makes me feel good inside, and that's all I really need from video games. And this is good. It's also out. You can go play it. It's on Switch and PS4. I assume means probably PS5. I don't know how that works. Yeah,
How many Final Fantasy 8 songs?
I think 17.
Oh man, does each song cost money then? Like how much? How much are we talking?
No, so there's the base game, which is a full $60 game. That comes with like 300 songs by itself. I think the 17 songs I mentioned are actually base game songs, and then the DLC is separate. So like there's at least 10 to 18 songs per Final Fantasy game, including some of like the deep cuts. Like there's Final Fantasy 7 remake music, there's Advent Children music, there's Final Fantasy 13-2 music. Like it's the full expanded universe of Final. Like there's Chocobo Mystery Dungeon music in this game, and all of that like base game free.
Wow. And
then there's like another 50 songs for the higher version, and another like 50 again for the even higher. And the super deluxe version has a bunch of music from like Nier and Chrono Trigger and Live Alive and all the kind of expanded Square Enix universe, just not the Final Fantasy universe. And I'll buy it all, Jack. I'll buy every single bit of it.
Is every track there available from the get-go, or do you have to unlock them through play?
Unfortunately, you have to unlock them through play, which I don't like, but I do guess. But also, like, I'll play these songs anyway. You don't need to make me unlock them. Because the way the game starts is they give you, I think, 5 that are automatically unlocked, 5 series. So I think it's Final Fantasy 7, 13, 15, 14, and 5, I want to say, are the 5 that are unlocked at the start. You play through, like, 4 songs in it, and they give you a key, and you can unlock one of the other games. So you have to play like 4 or 5 songs per series to unlock something. And then you can, at least you can choose which one you want to unlock. So they give you like a little currency thing, and like, which game you want to unlock? It's like, I want to unlock Final Fantasy 8, please. And then you can unlock Final Fantasy 8. And yeah, I would prefer if they just gave me all the songs. But listen, I'll play them all anyway, so I guess it's much ado about nothing.
As someone who has an appreciation for certain parts of the Final Fantasy soundtracks over the years, but wouldn't be as sick as you two, do you think there's enough here for me purely on like a gameplay aspect mechanically? Do you think there's enough here for me to want to spend any time with this?
Like, there are systems, like, aside from like the general, music game of it all, like the way the game is framed is that you pick a party of 4 and you're battling a bunch of monsters, and you can equip that party of 4 with new abilities and items and stuff like that. And like an airship drops you off, and you can choose the skin of the airship. So you can be like, I want the lunar whale from Final Fantasy 4, please, because I'm a whale, as mentioned. So you can pick the lunar whale to drop you off, or all the Ragnarok from Final Fantasy 8 can drop you off. There's there's nice little touches like that, but they're all like fan service touches. Like, if you don't care about Final Fantasy music, either you have to go into this game with a willingness to gain an appreciation for Final Fantasy music, or you won't care about this game. Like,
oh no, I like Final Fantasy music. I just, I'm not as familiar with the entire back catalogue, other than Shuffle and Boogie, which is terrible. But other than that, like, I'm there and I'm willing to appreciate stuff that I don't know.
I would be interested, like, if you had no experience with this music, if you didn't hear Shuffle and Boogie, and you're like, do, 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 and you're very pleased with yourself when you hit the notes and rhythm, which they don't do the thing where it, like, drops out if you don't, but there's a, like, satisfying ding you get every time you do. It's like Power Wash Simulator, really.
Yeah. But you said this is 60 quid, right?
I think it's 60. It might be 50.
I mean, even 50 seems quite steep.
I don't know. It's a full AAA release.
Garrett, you don't get say
well,
this.
I'm the whale. I've already admitted this, Mark. I've admitted my problem. But I don't know. I think it's a fully featured full game, and I don't have a problem with them charging $60 for this. Like, it's a full game. It's a full real game they put out.
Okay, all right. I'll take your word on this.
Also,
great song. Final Fantasy VIII, great, because like when you play it, because the way that you unlock them is like there's a little series mode you go into, and then you play through all the songs from Final Fantasy VIII. And 8 is like, it might have been the one that I'm like, there's the least songs that I'm not interested in here, because all of the games have like songs I love, and then there's a few is like, oh, there's a bunch of boring songs in there. Whereas 8 is like, God, every song on the soundtrack absolutely fucking rocks.
Do you know what I'd appreciate with this is if they included, like, with the kind of modern JRPG thing where you could speed up the battles. It'd be nice if you could speed up the songs as well and do everything in double time or triple time. You can't, just to, add that like extra level challenge.
You can't speed up the songs, but there is, like, as you play through them, some of the levels have like little hooks where it's like, oh, they go at double speed. The notes move by at double speed, so you have to do the inputs twice as fast. So there's like some small hooks on levels like that. And obviously, if you play on the hardest difficulty, it's insane and impossible.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I'm presuming it must have like difficulty settings to mix up the challenge.
Yeah, I think every level has 3 where it's like, easy, normal, hard, and then some levels have like super hard for like some of the big songs. Okay. And it's one of those games where it's weirdly, I think easy is probably a little harder, or at least less satisfying than normal is. I think that's the case for a lot of rhythm games, because obviously the way they make it easier is there's less notes. And when there's less notes, you don't get the same like satisfaction of like feeling like you played the song.
I hate playing Guitar Hero on easy mode. It's the worst.
Yeah, so you do have to. I'd recommend playing on, like, I think it's expert. They call the middle difficulty, but whatever the middle difficulty is, you should play it on that. I think you'll feel like you're playing the song better.
Does it feel like a sequel to the 3DS game, or does it just feel like that move to this? Not necessarily like a port, but it's just more of that.
It's kind of an advanced port, but. If you'd played the 3DS game and you're like, I got my fill, this is the same thing. There's more songs. That's the only difference, really. Yeah. They've tweaked some of the mechanics and some of the modes and all that. And as I said, they put some fun fan service stuff in there, and you can unlock character art and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, the core game is the same as the 3DS ones.
I bought Mario Kart 8 twice. I can't say anything, so